Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We're so glad that you tuned in tonight to our podcast. And we're glad that Mr. Ballsey Rockner, that great rock and roll singer-songwriter.
Legend. He's a legend.
Yeah, he's a legend. He let us use his room here at the Yamava. Don't want to say the wrong casino. To do our podcast. Got a lot of nice equipment here that we stole from a little place down the street. And they were kind enough to hide their eyes while we scurried off with all these microphones and cameras and stuff. So we're able to put on our podcast. I think this is about our sixth one. It'll be out. This one will be out somewhere in February of 2026 because we got a bunch of them going to come out January 1st. There'll be one every week. We haven't decided what night of the week yet we're going to do, but once a week we'll have this podcast. And basically it has a purpose. It's not just for fun, even though we do have enjoyment here doing it. We really are concerned that we will put out some information that will help people in their day-to-day living. And we talk about a lot of things. We talk about music because we are music producers. I got Jimmy Mack here, music producer. And we're over here doing some vocals today, and of course doing our podcast. And one of the things we like to tell people about is the book on health. It's over 300 pages of everything you'll ever want to know about how to stay healthy, and like the book says, how to avoid a gut-wrenching health crisis down the road. And that means you got to make some changes now in order to live a good, long, healthy life. Some people don't want to live a good, long, healthy life. Obviously, they enjoy. Ran across a guy one time that I used to work for, an old man, and he was pretty old at the time, retired veteran, smoked a lot of cigarettes. And I approached him one day and asked him, those things they call them cancer sticks for a reason. He said, "I don't care, I'll smoke till I die." And so there are people that have that kind of, and that's okay. It's a choice, everything in life is a choice. But we're hoping you will be one of the people who make the right choices. And for that, guys that want to try to make the right choices, we wrote all this information here. And it's got a lot of illustrations and a lot of really important information that most everybody can use. Then again, we have this other book on success. It's called Escape the Prison You're In. We hope you're not in a prison, a literal prison right now, but you might be in a situation in life that you feel like you might make it to a better place. And that 454 pages of information on how to live a better life and be successful. So today, my name's Danney Edward Ball. I'm the one that wrote the books, and I got my producer here, my music producer, Jimmy. You want to say a couple words, Jimmy? Jimmy
Hello.
McDonald.
Yes, and you definitely want to check out those books. It's all good stuff for you. The prison book is it's metaphors, but it's metaphors about being stuck. Escape the prison you're in. Metaphors about being stuck in a place that you're not happy with. So you might have a business and you're making money and you're working your butt off and things just aren't going, as good as you'd like them, or you just feel like you're just paying bills and staying afloat. There's a lot of ideas in here for how to further yourself from that particular situation, or you might be in a relationship or have some other situation in your life that everybody really, I think part of being healthy is being happy. So everybody really should be living a life that they're happy. They're happy with their circumstances. They're happy with what they do for a living. I made a huge change in my life a long time ago. I was a commercial banker. I was a vice president, branch manager of a commercial bank. And as much as I succeeded at that, I really was not very happy, and I just kept looking ahead, thinking I can't see doing this for the rest of my life, wearing a suit every day to work. And I had always done music, always dreamed as a kid about doing music for a living, and I had an opportunity to make a shift, and really took my chances, and had a little bit of money tucked away, and was able to make it work. And I thought, well, I could always fall back to banking if I don't make it as a musician. And fortunately I never had to. So I've been able to pay my bills and wake up every morning doing what I love to do. And I would really love to see all of you guys, and hopefully many of you already do, are working in a profession that you really enjoy, you really love. And when you get to retiring age, you don't really think about retiring because it's something that you like doing. And if it's a job that you hate, you're gonna, like a prison sentence, you're gonna be counting down the days until your retirement. And some people do that. They have a job that that pays the bills and does everything they want, but they're not real happy in it. But they do their time, and we actually have a chapter on that. Do your time and write it out to the end. And but if you're young and you're starting out, highly recommend you find a way to, and this book shows you some ways to put yourself in a place that you're going to be a happy person. You're going to be doing what you love to do. Plus, when you're in a job that you love doing, you have a lot more energy, you have a lot more stamina. And when I first started in the studio business, I worked long hours, but it wasn't hard because it was my passion. It was what I loved. And getting it off the ground was hard, but labor of love, just loved doing it.
Yeah. Today I'd kind of like to talk about some of that music stuff. One thing that I've had on my mind is I run into people that say, well, what's the deal? How do you write songs? What's the process you use on writing songs? And how do you learn how to write songs? And of course, I had a 3-hour seminar that I taught at several community colleges. And one of the things I did, the first thing I would do was I would tell people, if you want to be a songwriter and you have CDs of your favorite artists, take about 10 of those CDs and play them one at a time, and get a pad and a pencil, or you can type it out if you want, but type out the lyrics to every one of those songs. 10 CDs, at least 10 songs each CD, that's 100 songs. By the end of the time that you write out the lyrics to all those songs, you'll get an idea of the structure of some of these famous songs, and you'll find that most of them, have a pattern, verse, chorus, things like that. And that's one way. Then again, a lot of people say, well, I don't play an instrument. And I tell them, well, I had at least 2 weeks class on a piano, and the teacher sent me home and told my mom that I should never touch a piano again. So even though I have a keyboard I dink around on, and I have taken some lessons in guitar and bass and drums and all that, just to familiarize myself a little bit with them, but I never had an aptitude, nor did I want to. I just wanted to vocalize, and so I started early in life. And in high school, I was in the choir, and I sang at church and stuff like that. A lot of people start singing at church. But, and of course, you can take voice lessons. I've taught a lot of people. I've had a lot of people always say, well, I'm not a singer. I can't sing. I can't hold a tune. I can't do that. And I tell them, I say, look, if you can talk, you can sing. You may not be perfect pitch, but you can sing. And I've taught several people that, So even though I'm not a professional vocal coach, I could always recommend one if anyone's ever in need of that. But so the idea is, if you really want to get into music, find some good teachers, take some good lessons, read some good books. There's lots of material. And, of course, you can watch our podcast, because from week to week, we're going to be bringing out different ideas on songwriting, on singing, on producing your CDs or putting them online. Of course, I have my website, DannyEdwardBall.com, and I've got my CDs and songbooks and everything on there. We even did a vinyl album of gospel tunes that's on there, and we're going to do some more vinyl too, because vinyl is kind of coming back. So we have quite a bit to say about the music production, and today I kind of wanted to go over some of the things, the way that we do this, and I wanted Jimmy to talk about. He's not in his studio today. He's here in a motel room. Now, how did we get here to do these vocals? What led up to this? So I'd like him to do the ABCs of what he did to get here to the room today to do this couple of vocals, and we're doing this podcast. And I'd like him to go over that, Jimmy, if you would, from start to finish.
Sure.
When I send you some lyrics, say I want this, and call you up in the middle of the night and sing the song to you, and then you take it from there. What do you do?
Yeah, so because of the distance, we're more than 100 miles away where we live. With modern technology, back in the day, this type of thing would have been really hard, but now with MP3s and with all the different tools that you have, internet tools, it makes it pretty easy. But basically, if he's got a song, I have him sing it. He's got good pitch, and so he'll sing into, he'll call me in the middle of the night, and I won't answer, and he'll sing his song into my answering machine on the phone, and I'll take that, and I'll play that into my computer, kind of line it up. I have tools that can slow down and speed up and pitch down and all kinds of crazy things. So I'll get it lined up in a metered format with a click track, and then I kind of can have a feeling. I've been doing this a long time. I've done thousands and thousands of songs, so I can kind of hear where he's going melodically. So I'll start building the chords around that and try to figure out what kind of music it might need. But I start pretty simple with the music, maybe just a piano and just a simple type of drum track beat, maybe some bass or something, and I'll work up a primary, maybe through the first verse and chorus, and then I'll send him an MP3 of that, and he'll yay or nay it. And if it's not really how he saw the song going, he'll give me some other advice, and I'll start over again and kind of work through it until we get the basic outline that he's good with and signs off on it. Then I'll run with it and build the track around it. I can do any instrument that you can name. I can add that in a MIDI format. It's nice to add live instruments because that does give it a live feel. And I play guitar, mandolin, banjo, a lot of other stringed instruments. So sometimes I'll do that, and I'll add live shaker or tambourine or other instruments like that. And then we'll add maybe some vocalists if we need some extra voices in there. I do a lot of the harmonies myself. We just did some country songs, and I brought in a really talented fiddle player and a very talented steel player, and so I'll bring in some other people with those kinds of instruments that don't really work as good on the MIDI. Certain things like string pads are really, really nice. They add a fullness to the sound. Even some of the brass samples that I have are really, you almost can't tell from a real instrument. So then I'll build the track, and I'll have the track ready, and I'll sing the song. So the original was sung on a answering machine, but I'll re-sing it with my voice to give him a demo of how he would sound over the track, and he'll take that and practice with it. And then we'll meet up here, and I'll bring a portable rig that doesn't have all the tools that I use in my studio, but it has a great, I'll bring a good microphone, and it has a good quality recording level to it. And on my laptop with a small digital mixer, And then we'll play the track, and we'll take several passes of his vocals. And I don't do any of the editing here. I just capture the live voice. And so then now we've got all the tools. We've got the track, and we've got the final vocal on it. I'll take it back to the studio and spend hours and hours doing the magic on it, making the vocal sound the best that it possibly can, and then wrapping the music around that. And then I'll mix it down there, and then again send it for the final approval. And if he likes it, then it's done. And then we, decide, how and when to release it, and will it be on CD? Will it be on vinyl? And I take care of all those things. Also, I take care of all the final production deals. And then we also have Rick David, our media guy. He's building the websites and doing the search engine optimization. And I also get the songs through DistroKid, which is a distributor. Yeah, they distribute, and they when we release the song through them, they'll send it out to, I think there's actually 25 or 30, some of them I've never even heard of, but places where they will put the song out: Spotify, Pandora, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, all of those. So this one company, for a pretty nominal fee, will put it out in all these places. So then we just have to kind of tie that all in to get it out on the market. But that's how the production is done. So I've done this, done arrangements for people, many people that I never even met, people that are in Florida and New York and Pennsylvania and Texas and all over the place. And we do pretty much the same thing. But the vocal wise, if somebody's 4,000 miles away, they'll either have to fly out to California to do the vocals, and I've had that many times. Of course, everybody loves coming out to California. Or they'll go into a local studio, and they'll take the track that I made. They'll record their voice in a local studio with that track and get it the best they can, and then the studio will forward me the digital recording of the voice, and then I'll do all the final editing and mixing with the voice and the track that I created here. So it really has, a lot of this technology has really shrunk the world. There's, you can have matter of fact, the guy who did the fiddle guy who came into the studio, he's a local guy, but the guy who did the steel is maybe 150, 200 miles away from me. And he, same thing, I sent him the track. He laid all of his tracks on there and then sent them back to me, and then I mixed them into the song. So if I have a trumpet player or saxophone player or something, and they live in a different state, even a different country, you can still get them on your recording. So I love the technology. I started in this industry. I went full time in 1988, and I was only 5. No, I'm kidding. But giving away my age.
Give them your phone number and or your email address, whichever.
Yeah, I'll give you the email. It's J, letter J, and then MAC, for Jimmy Mac, JMAC, music at AOL.com. And I'm still on AOL. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. But a lot of people have that email address. But yeah, you could send me. I don't really have a website right now. I did for a long time, but it didn't really do a whole lot for me. But you can contact me through the email, and if there's if somebody out there has been thinking about it for a long time, they wanted to, back in the day, you used to have, and I started on the front end of this with MIDI, but back in the day, you had to go to a recording studio, and they would hire a keyboard player, a bass player, a drummer, and not taking away work from all these people, but a lot of people couldn't afford what it costs to hire all of those people, pay them to come into the studio, and try to get it in 1 or 2 takes. With doing it the way I do it with MIDI, we can slow it. Even after I do the basic outline, we can slow it up, slow it down, speed it up, pitch it down, chop out a bridge, add a bridge. I can still, right until the very end, I can continue to manipulate with the way that I do it. If you had a live musicians, you get what you get. And, if they're really good players, you're going to get something great. But if you change your mind on how you wanted the song to be, you can't unless you go back in and hire a bunch of guys again to redo it. And it used to be even back in the day when things were a lot cheaper. It could be, in the thousands to per song to get all these people and to book the studio and take all the time to get it, and then hire the studio, do all the mixing and all of those things. They'd mic the drums, and editing the drums after you have live mic drums is it's a lot of work. The MIDI drums that I use, as long as they're programmed well, they sound like real drums, but they're world-class recordings. So all of the editing as far as the sound is concerned has already been done. I just have to play them in a way that sounds like real drums. So it's kind of a shortcut and more affordable way to get your songs out there. But as songwriters, I've worked with hundreds of songwriters. As a songwriter, you want to, within your means, within your financial means, you want to be able to get your songs in a way that you can pitch them, play them for people, and get them out there on the internet and do all that kind of stuff. So that's what I do. I help people's dreams come alive by taking their songs from any formula, even just lyrics. If it's a poem, I can add the melody, but if they have a melody and a lyric, I can voice all the music and chords around it and get it to a finished state where it sounds like a radio version of a song. That's what I do.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, thanks for giving us that information, Jimmy. I'm sure that you got his email address and you want to do what I do with him and get some of your material, your songs produced. Just give him an email, give him a shout out there, and he'll see if he can fit you in his busy schedule. I keep him pretty busy, I'll tell you.
Yeah, Danney and I do a lot of stuff together.
He's also helping me with the editing of my books. I want to change the subject a little bit here. I'm opening my book, the one that's called The Devil is in the Entrails, How to Avoid a Gut-Wrenching Health Crisis. And I got this chapter 12 here, titled, Odds Are You Will Have an Accident. Now, I know you're probably going to shut off the podcast now because you don't think you're going to have an accident. But the truth is, accidents in the home and around your property, in your house, in your car, there's a good chance, and I know we can speak from experience, that we've had auto accidents and we've had accidents in the home. And I'm going to just read you here the first paragraph. Home scrapes and bruises you can avoid. I cannot express more the problems arising from everyone, especially older adults, having accidents, often life-threatening accidents in the home. Often these happen when doing day-to-day routine things. The trick to avoiding such accidents is often just one of focus. Think before you act. Be aware of your surroundings. Slow down. Now, look around your house. How many throw rugs you got on those wood floors? You know, you could slip on one of those throw rugs and land on your back and end up in the hospital, and could have a life-threatening or a long-term injury that would cause you a lot of problems down the road. And that's what this book is about, how to avoid that type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And accidents are one of the things you need to think about. Look around your house and see where you could have an accident, not just with those rugs, but loose, what could fall off or what could fall over in an earthquake. You know, we have earthquakes out here in California. And they tell you, and even a lot of the furniture nowadays comes with those little straps in the back where you can screw them to the wall so they won't fall over on you. But a lot of the older furniture didn't have that, so you can buy stuff at the store to secure that furniture so it won't, in an earthquake, it won't fall over on you.
Mm-hmm.
What about fires? We've had some devastating fires out here in California, and hundreds, maybe thousands of homes have burned to the ground. Now they're fighting not only with the insurance companies to get their money, but they're fighting with the city and the government to get their permits. And all because of a fire that started that they had no idea about, and it came around, the wind swept it up, and it burned down thousands of houses and homes, people's belongings that they've had for their entire life. So look around your property and make sure that you don't have anything that could ignite a fire, or if a fire does start in your area, clear that brush away from your house so that you don't get in that situation where your house will catch on fire and you lose all your family photos and all the stuff that you've saved up over your life. Well, I think we're through for today. We just went through Thanksgiving. We had a nice Thanksgiving. Now we're coming upon Christmas here, and I'm hoping you'll all have a nice Christmas. We do have that new Christmas song coming out. I think we're going to release it. It's on the 1st of December, right?
Yeah, Monday.
Yeah, Monday we're releasing a new song. It's called Make Somebody's Christmas Merry. So if you want to listen to it, of course, you can either go on my website, which is DannyEdwardBall.com, or you can go to any of the, like Amazon.com or Spotify, any of those music platforms, and you'll find it there. So any final words you want to say, Jimmy?
No, just be happy with your life and be safe.
There you go. That's it. Okay. We'll see you later on down the trail.